Getaway Plan's Other Voices, Other Room record is just about to turn 10 years old. Remember this? So many incredible songs. You can see them played live September 14th at the Triffid in Brisbane. I caught up with main man Matty Wright from the band to ask what happened to 10 years of our lives.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, man. It's crazy to think that we're still doing this and that people are still coming to our shows and loving it. It's insane.
Because I imagine a few of the songs on the record were probably even much older than that. They might have been a couple of years old before they were even recorded, right?
Yeah, for sure. Well, one of the songs on the record was one of the first songs that we ever kind of put together as a band. Transmissions, that song is the last song. So that song would be like close to like 16, 17 years old now. It's pretty mental.
Holy cow, it's nearly old enough to vote. You'll have to get that bad boy enrolled before the plebiscite happens, mate.
Totally, yeah.
Other Voices, Other Rooms is such a great record, and I don't know, you might not recall this, but I spoke with you on the back of a Tarago at a festival called Sounds of Spring in Brisbane, literally only months after the release of the record. Did you have any idea during the tour cycle that the band would go into hiatus so soon after the record came out, essentially?
No way. We intended to keep going until we realized that it was going to be too much for us. And same goes for getting back together. Like, when we broke up, we absolutely intended to stay that way. It's just that was fate, I guess, yeah.
So you guys were fairly certain right from the hiatus that the band was never going to get back together?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, we would, because when we broke up, we did a farewell tour. It was like, it wasn't a hiatus that we went on. We told people that we were breaking up, and we did, and we intended to stay that way. But I think we just learnt so much in that time off. We learnt the tools to cope so much better, and we just couldn't say no, I guess.
Man, I was a massive fan of that 2011 record, Requiem, and that's kind of like a second relaunching of the band. You already knew how tough it was starting a band, making a record, doing that whole process. Was it doubly tough the second time around? Because the music industry is an incredibly fickle beast.
Oh, yeah. It was way tougher, man. Just the pressure that was on us was, like, so heavy, I guess, yeah. I don't know, you see so many bands break up and reform and it not work out. It was an incredibly scary thing for us to do. We had people in our ears telling us that it wasn't going to work. We had labels sort of freaking out over it. I mean, they were really supportive too, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, it's a big risk to invest in a band that has already said that they're done.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's like investing in a football player with two busted knees or something like that, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly right.
What was the chemistry like when you guys first got back into a band room together? Was it instantaneous? Was it back to that magical place, or was it something you guys had to work on, knowing the prior history and why you'd originally broken up?
Yeah, no, it was totally effortless, man, and that was kind of why it happened so quickly that we got back together, because it was like we played a one-off show for a charity, and that was kind of the catalyst for us playing music together again. And it was just like after one or two practices for that show, it was just so bleedingly obvious that we needed to keep going.
We're glad you are fully fledged back together, and incredibly stoked to be hearing this record in full. Other Voices, Other Rooms. You can check out the Getaway Plan at the Triffid. It's happening in just a couple of weeks, Thursday, September 14. A couple of big shows at the Triffid. It's going to be some great nights. In 2014, mate, you spoke at length and quite openly about your own mental health issues. Do you mind if I ask how you're doing these days?
Oh, I'm doing much better, man. Much better. I think just the biggest thing for me was just talking to people, man. Because I kept it to myself for so long, and that was what led me to go further and further down that dark path. But as soon as I started opening up and speaking to people about it, that was the biggest thing for me. So I think if anyone is going through it, like, that's the number one piece of advice that I can give to you, is just don't keep it to yourself, because it'll kill you. It will.
Very well said. 13 11 14. If you need someone to talk to that's not someone you know, Lifeline is always there. Lifeline.org.au. Something I found recently with struggles that I've been through myself and friends have been through as well. Sometimes when you begin that process of conversation and people say, "What have you been up to?" and you go, "Well, nothing, I don't know." Do you think that combination of talking to people and also getting out and experiencing what's great about life is also a part of that process?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Seeing people, talking to people, being social, just getting back to nature is another big thing for me as well. just spending more time outside in nature is a big thing.
That is awesome. I would love to see you and the boys, full trench coat, skinny jeans, just out going for a walk in the back of Byron somewhere. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, it's rare, but it happens. Yeah.
If you were a fan of the first record from Getaway Plan, Other Voices, Other Rooms, do yourself a favour, go out and grab a copy of Requiem and Dark Horses, both incredible records as well. I was a huge fan, particularly of Requiem. I want to ask this one, it's a bit of a left field question. Where's the strangest place you've heard your music played? I remember a couple of years ago I was asked to be best man at a mate's wedding in Geelong, and he was a hardcore techno DJ, but he and his wife walked down the aisle. Their wedding song was Where the City Meets the Sea, and it was
Wow.
great. It was
Wow.
great for me as a fan, but it seemed like a strange place to hear that song. Have you had one of those moments as the creator of the songs themselves?
Yeah. One time I was in a Supre at like the girls' store, and our song started playing, and I just had to get the out of there straight away. Yeah. That's one obscure place that I've heard it. Supermarkets I've heard it played in, which it's not as obscure. That's kind of a brush to the ego, I guess.
Mate, as follow-on question, what were you doing in Supre? Matty, please tell me you were either A, trying to hit on a hot bird, or B, buying like a cool cardigan. Otherwise, why were you there, chap?
I was probably buying jeans at that time. That was a long time ago. Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
Matty Wright is the man. He is the front man from Getaway Plan. You can check him out at our very good sponsors venue, the Triffid. It's happening in just a couple of weeks in September, Thursday, September the 14th, thetriffid.com.au for tics and details. Something we ask everyone that comes on the show, mates. What was the first record you got to fucking take your memory back that far?
The very first record I ever bought would have been Dangerous by Michael Jackson. I think that's a pretty good one, hey? Yeah.
Absolutely.
A lot of people would have some pretty embarrassing answers to that, but yeah, as far as I remember, that was it.
Absolutely much better than my Ace of Base cassette in the Macca's Happy Meal way back in the day, Matty. A great...
That's pretty awesome too, though, man. That's pretty good.
It did. I saw the sign, and here I am now. Matty Wright from the Getaway Plan. Good luck for these shows, mates. Really looking forward to seeing you guys in full flight playing this record.
Awesome, brother. Thanks so much for your time.
Watch the stars explode with the air.